Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick, and today we have the first of 4 Bricktober Toys R Us exclusive minifigure sets, and this is based on Ninjago. I wonder what the best way to open this is without causing too much damage. I believe that if you just cut right here carefully across the tape and the back as well. There we go. I think we've freed it. Oh wait, it's taped on both sides. There we go. I want to do this carefully because it's a really nice package, and I'll probably end up putting the figures back in for storage at some point. I don't want to, damage the box at all because it looks really nice. But if you just slide that off, it, works pretty well. That's kind of cool that they included this to keep, the figures all safe and covered up. But this little limited edition set includes 4 minifigures. They're all, nicely packaged in there, and this is actually this is better quality than I thought it would be. It's pretty sturdy. It doesn't feel as flimsy as the little coal box, and they're more secure because it's actually tape sealed. So overall, I think that it's a pretty cool package. It's a little weird that they used the Hands of Time stuff up here instead of the Ninjago movie logo. I know that this is based on the TV show, so this actually makes more sense, but I was kind of expecting to see I would have expected to see, the latest little image up there. But now that we've got this open, we're going to take a close look at each of these exclusive figures. So, first up, go left to right, and this first figure is the white Ninjroid from Season 6 of Ninjago, Skybound. This character is used in the vault where they store the Golden Master's armor, as well as, other stuff, and Nauticon breaks in there. The Realm Crystal is stored there, and that's what Nauticon, takes. And these guys are protecting it. And I always thought that it would be really cool to get his figures, but I never imagined that we would get them, ever. But I'm really glad that we did. The purple and silver print on this Ninjroid mask, available for the first time in a color other than black, is really cool. This face print, I believe, is the same one that they used in the Titanium Ninja Tumbler and the Samurai X Cave. But I might be... Actually, I don't know if it went all the way around like that. I'll do a comparison between this and, the latest Cryptor once I have the latest Cryptor. Just because then I'll be able to give you the most, accurate information about this. But this shoulder armor piece, definitely exclusive, and that's some really nice print on there. I think this is kind of above and beyond, honestly. It's really cool to get 2 pieces with brand new colors and prints. The torso, I think, is a little simpler than some of the others from the Ninjroids, because it's less, damaged and everything. It's all nice and neat. But I think that's a good thing. I think it carries over a very similar pattern on the back as well. And the legs, definitely, very similar. And I don't remember if the white Ninjroids, had the tears in the fabric or anything. But, it could be, maybe not. Even so, I think that this is a very, very cool figure. And it does include the 2 swords in the back, like most Cryptors. Ooh, whoops. But I think that's, cool. Overall, just a really, really awesome figure. Figure number 2. There we go. This is the one and only Neuro. And he's one of the Elemental Masters from Season 4. And wow, that's really, really cool to be getting this guy, after so long. He comes with one of these, energy pieces on one of these bar studs, which is cool. Not super accurate to his powers in the show, but there's nothing that they could have done better without introducing a new print. So I'm happy with this. The torso looks really, really nice. Very similar to how it did in the show. There is no leg print, but I think that that's acceptable because he had kind of a simple outfit. The face, though, that's really, really well done for a Neuro figure. And there's no alternate face, but again, I think that that's okay. The cool thing here, very special thing, is this hairpiece. It's one of these, kind of Jack 14, I forget who else used it, but a lot of characters use this part. It's that piece, but with printing. I believe this is the first time it's been printed. And it's not perfectly centered. It's not, completely the best print ever. But this is what Neuro looks like, kind of. He does have a different, more textured hair, more similar in mold to the elf from Series 3, but without the ears. And it would have been a new mold to create that, to have it completely accurate. And I think it's alright that they didn't. Obviously, it leaves a little bit to be desired. But for a free promotional set that's only going to be released at Toys R Us for a limited amount of time, I don't think it makes much sense for them to create a whole new mold for that. So, I'm alright with this solution personally. Alright, the third figure that's included here is this guy. And this here is Crux from the Hands of Time, the only, the only border accurate character here. But he comes with a simple built up weapon, and this is all pre-assembled and everything, so that's interesting. But it's nothing special, nothing specific to the show at all. It's just kind of there. But this guy is very similar to the Hands of Time figure. But he's got the legs. They're different because he doesn't have a little stopwatch. The back print as well does show the chain for the stopwatch, so it's like he carries it on his back here. Obviously, that doesn't carry on to the back of the legs, which I think is a little bit of a shame. But obviously, they don't print things that way, so it kind of is what it is. And this is. Version of the figure comes with a helmet, which is awesome. And the face print is exclusive, and completely different from the Crux because it's supposed to be the young version of him. How Chronix is kind of younger because he was trapped out of time. Move forward 40 years. This is Crux from before the time jump. The helmet they wear as the Time Twins, but it doesn't have these snakes up here. However, again, they would have had to mold a completely different helmet, which, costs a lot, and for, a limited edition promo thing, it doesn't make too much sense. So, again, we'll give it a pass like we did with Neuro's hair. It's not completely accurate, but this is still a really cool figure. And if you were to just replace this with Dr. Saunders' hair in black, which I don't think exists yet, so it would have been nice to see that instead of this helmet, I think, personally, because, it would have been more accurate. But, again, it's cool for what it is, and, it doesn't look bad like this. It's just not, completely screen accurate, but still one more figure. And here we go, the last guy. This is Kai, the only one of the ninja to appear in this little Ninjago minifigure set, so it's kind of interesting that there are so few, actual important characters. These are all kind of side characters, except for Kai. And this is a version from the Digiverse, from, I believe it was episode 31, when they were facing the Overlord in the Digiverse, and they turned gold. I don't know why they chose Kai, personally. First, here's his weapon. It's actually kind of big and bulky. I think it's the same build as Loki's staff. But, you know, we could call this the Realm Crystal. People thought this was the first Ninjago Master because of that when pictures were first revealed. But the torso print is really, really nice. It is very accurate to rebooted Kai, you know, except gold. And the leg print is cool as well. It's a really, really nice looking print. I don't think that we were expecting this at all, but no back face, but we'll show you the front of the face in a second. I just want to show you the back print first. Because look, it's got Kai's symbol, proves it's Kai. One only complaint I have about this figure is the mask. In the show, in the Digiverse, they had their rebooted masks with their hair, so I would have loved to see a rebooted mask in gold, as well as, you know, Kai's hairpiece included here. But, you know, again, it is what it is. They don't have any of that piece in gold. They could have done a recolor like they did with the Ninjaroid, but they didn't. So that's the only real complaint I have about any of the minifigures so far. That's the one thing I would have liked to see done differently. But here's my favorite part of this figure. Look at that face. Kai actually gets a show-accurate face. I guess it does still have a little bit too much scar on there, but, you know, overall it looks really, you know, really good, and I like that, you know, not frowning, actually somewhat Kai-looking Kai. But, yeah, let's move back to a little final verdict. So these Bricktober packs were available with purchases of $50 or more, which is honestly a really, really, really fair price to you know, have to pay to get one of these. Because if you think about it, most Lego store gifts with purchase, like Shop at Home, you know, like the Lloyd minifigure from the Ninjago movie, this guy, you get one of him if you spend $50 or more, versus 4 of these guys for purchases of $50 or more. So obviously, that's a great value right there. Like even when they did the 2 exclusive figures at once, the 2 Batman, that was $75 or more. So obviously a little bit of a better rate here, and so that's, I think, a good value. However, these will be sold separately for $20 after this week is over, I believe, which is not as good of a deal. I feel like, yeah, one collectible minifigure is $4, so $15, maybe $16 would have been a good deal. I still think $20 isn't bad. It does come down to $5 a figure, but these are all really nicely done. You know, the value, it's kind of, you gotta think about it yourself, if it means that much to you. Personally, as a Ninjago fan, definitely I'd spend $20 on this. I spent $7 on Stone Armored Cole, and I still think that was a little pricey, but worth it overall. This set, though, as a whole, just the existence of it, I'm super glad to have the option to get these figures if I wanted to, which I do. But, you know, this is great for Ninjago fans, finally getting a Neuro, who is more significant a character in the show than, like, Griffin Turner, and Invisible and Toxikita, the other Elemental Masters that are available on Ash. You know, more important than Ash, more important than Shadow, probably. You know, really nice to see him around. Young Crux, I think, is the weakest figure of these 4, but, you know, they still put a ton of effort into him. Everything about him is exclusive besides the helmet, so, you know. And I am a little disappointed by how they pulled off Digiverse Kai. And I think Zane would have been a better one to pick just because he's a little bit, you know, he was the first one to turn gold in the Digiverse. I think he was probably the coolest one, coolest looking. But hopefully, now that they've finished all the Stone Armor ninjas, they'll start to go back and give us all of the Digiverse ninjas, so that'd be really nice. But, you know, this leaves options open. Hopefully Toys R Us does another great Bricktober promotion next year like this one. I'll be hopefully covering the rest of the Bricktober sets except maybe the city one. I might skip that because it's not super exciting to me personally. But I know this has been a little bit long of a review, but I wanted to give, a nice detailed look at every single one of these figures. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you didn't, maybe I can, do it a little bit quicker next time with the Batman figures. Just let me know what you think about the format in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.